Transforming inertia. Inertia is a kind of stuckness. It's a state in which we feel no motivation for life, for doing things that are uplifting, that might pull us out of the inertia. There's a kind of, well, I guess if you're watching this, you probably know what inertia feels like. Most human beings have felt it at some point. For some people, inertia is a big deal. It's a very common thing that hangs over us like a kind of burden that we can't seem to break out of. It has various forms. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be mental, it can be across all levels. And how do we transform it? In this little journey over the next 10 minutes or so, I want to share to you like how we can transform the essence of inertia into invincibility, because it actually contains the seed of its opposite. So inertia is this energy where we can't do anything. Invincibility is this thing where we can do anything, where we are. There's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't succeed at. So let's really unpack this one a little bit. First thing is inertia is a chemical experience. It's chemical. It's physical in the body. You just feel like this lack of a force to get you out of bed or to drive you out into the world, or it's a kind of, can also be a sort of way of distracting ourselves, so we distract ourselves with lots of things in order that we don't deal with the one thing that is really concerning us. Often that's the case with us humans. We ignore the one thing that is of the most importance, that is begging to be transformed, and we just ignore it by looking at everything else or distracting ourselves in our busyness. So the first thing is just to look at it with honesty, face to face, just to kind of experience, I am not attending to this thing, this feeling, because I don't want to feel it, because I don't enjoy it, because it makes me feel miserable, hopeless, lost, disempowered, useless, different, all those things. Like, why aren't I normal? That's a great thing. Why aren't I normal? Why can't I be like others? Why can't I get out of bed and do things? Those are all very, you'd be surprised how many human beings feel that way. Even the ones that you look at and they look like they're really doing well. So many of us have those feelings. Like, why can't I just be like everyone else? So that's one of the root causes of inertia, because we feel we're alone. We feel that, we're cut off from others, that there's something wrong with us. Whereas in fact, this is a very normal human state. And in one respect, it's actually a very natural state. It's a very natural state, because it's the big, realizing that we are kind of not doing something, that we're not able to do something right now. That's a powerful thing to realize. Like, I'm here, and the temptation is to think that you're stuck. And what happens is your mind is just saying that, actually. Your mind is saying you're stuck. There's this big block that you can't get past. And it's just your mind saying that. There is no block, actually. It's just your mind creating a block. There isn't a block. The block is your mind. So you have to have this realization that so much of inertia is rooted in the way we think. And the way we think controls the way we feel, and the way we feel imprints our DNA through, epigenetically, as it say. So the way you think influences the chemicals in your body, the way you think about something. So if you think at some unconscious level, I'm stuck, or I can't do this, that thought itself is opening up neural pathways in your brain. It's releasing or blocking gene transfer of certain hormones, and it's also opening up other ones that then reinforce that state. Right? So it's just the thought is the first thing to realize. What happens if I could get over that thought that I can't do this? And how can I get over that thought? The first thing is identifying that it's a thought, and often that thought is embedded in our unconscious, so we're not aware of it right away. It's somewhere rooted in our younger years. That's where it came from, from childhood. And what's so interesting is that a lot of scientists and embryologists are now realizing that a lot of our programming takes place while we're in the embryo, before we're even born. So really think about that. Like, what you don't have to know. You don't have to know. Your mother probably won't remember anyway, even if she's alive. But what happens when we're in the womb programs our whole life. So even one small thing that happened to your mother, where she felt, I can't do this, I'm not capable, this is too much, whatever it was she felt, that thought was planted like a seed in you. And it's not even your thought. It's not even your belief. You've taken it on, it's become a part of you. So realize that you can uproot that thought, knowing that it wasn't you. Just pull it out. Just pull it out. Just through your awareness. And you might think, I can't. And that's the thought again. I can't. And try and empathize with your mother, or whatever it was that happened, back then, that caused this choke, this weed that got into the unconscious mind, that then closed down the neural pathways, that set you in a certain way, feeling like this is who I am. This is me. I've never been able to do this. I've never been able to get past this. It isn't you. It isn't your fault. It was rooted in something way out of your control. But realizing that is such a freedom. Such a freedom. Just the realization, oh my goodness, my poor mother. And then you pull out that weed just with the awareness, and you go, right, okay, I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna reboot that belief structure, and I'm gonna tell myself, I can do anything. I can do anything. And that statement, I can do anything, is a quintessential human statement of empowerment. Write it on your mirror, put it all around your house, imprint it in your body, over and over and over again. I can do anything. I can do anything. Let it ring out like a mantra all through your being. I can do anything. I can do anything. So powerful. And as you saturate yourself in that truth, it can take a while, for it to really sink in, because you've got to re-imprint that belief over an old stereotype that that's been running your life. So you just change the stereotype. You're changing one program for another program. That's all we're doing. Reprogramming the brain, the computer, the biocomputer, reprogramming our DNA. I can do anything. And out of that will come one day, whenever it happens, a step that you will take out of this feeling. And whatever that step is, it might be signing up for a yoga class, it might be learning a new language, it might be telling your partner you've had enough of them behaving in this way, it might be so many different things. But it's a step that you've never had the courage to take before. And once you start taking those steps, little first steps in all areas of your life, that first step that often seems insurmountable, once you've made it, you realize, oh, that wasn't so hard. And the first step then sets you on a new trajectory in life. And you can make many first steps in many different areas. And the thing is to realize that the first step that we take, it seems the hardest, because you're looking up at this huge mountain and you're like, how am I going to get to the top of that? It's 20,000 feet up. I can never make that. But if you're looking at the mountain, of course you feel like that. So don't look at the mountain. Just look at your feet and go, well, actually it's only one little step I've got to take. If I make the first step, then everything else is just going to come. So you don't worry about the mountain. Forget that. Look at your feet. Take the first step. It's a small step, but it's the most important step of all. And out of that will come a determination. And that determination will build as you take other steps. First step leads to the second step. Second step leads to the third step. And on and on and on. And every now and again, you might fall back into your old ways. That old thought programming might come back in. Oh, this is too hard. This is too hard. That's okay. That's just the old programming. Just remind yourself, I can do this. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. And it's okay if you will need to take a break and have a rest because you're tired or you feel fatigued or overwhelmed. It's okay. Be gentle with yourself on this journey because you're going to reboot your entire life. And that's no small thing. From the place you're in now to the place where you will be in, that's a lot of steps. But you can only focus on one step at a time, and then you won't feel that inertia because you only realize it's a tiny step to take. Maybe you change your diet. Maybe it's addiction you're dealing with, but you've got to take the first step. So take the first step. Take courage, take the first step, and all the other steps will come out of that first step. I promise you. All the other steps will come out of that first step. If you make that first step with your whole being and you pour every prayer and fiber of your being into that first step, it will set a new stereotype in your being. A whole new journey will follow, as you're kind of moving on. It's like, I recently was introduced to cross-country skiing. And what I didn't know about cross-country skiing is that you put your skis on, you get on the snow with your poles, and then you get into these sort of channels that are made by a machine. This is like in some places anyway. And you just put your skis in those channels, and then you start moving. And there's a really nice movement and a glide that you can get into, and it really feels good. But you don't have to worry about where you're going because the skis just follow the channels through the woods, up and down, in and out. All you have to do is keep doing that and get your rhythm. And you can do it at night as well, in the complete dark, because your skis just follow these channels, and you're going through the forest or across a lake, frozen lake, and you don't need to know where you're going because that first step, getting into the channels, just like all you need to do now is just keep moving towards where it is you're moving. And it flows and it flows and it flows. And that's where we begin to, as we go deeper and deeper along our path of self-empowerment, we start to feel more and more empowered. Until we realize at one point that we're actually invincible. This is invincibility. Invincibility means I can do anything, And the invincibility is not, it's like this, it's a light feeling. It's not like this big, I'm invincible. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm invincible because I can do anything. And that one sentence can take us the whole way up to the mountaintop, whatever our mountaintop is, whatever your deepest heart's goals are, however outlandish, you can get there because I can do anything. Whatever one person has achieved, another can achieve. And if no one yet has achieved this thing, I can do anything. So you keep reprogramming that inside yourself. And that's how we transform inertia. Step by step, until we feel more and more of that invincibility. And it's a light feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. It's an elevating feeling. It's a joyous feeling. It's not heavy anymore. Because all that heaviness, we've reprogrammed it. It's gone. It was a part of who we once thought we were. But now, I can do anything. So, take the first step. Take courage. You can do it.